I saw it before I even had time to blink. A wall of red and green balloons. Gifts stacked taller than my sister's kids. Matching pajamas. Hashtags about family first. And in the middle of it, my mom smiling like she had all the love in the world to give. But just 1 week before, she had texted me, "We're skipping your kid's birthday this year, Victoria. Things are tight." I remember staring at that Christmas post while my daughter, Emma, tugged my sleeve and whispered, in the softest little voice, "Mom, did they forget me again?" Something cracked in me right there. Something small. Something old. Something that had been waiting years to wake up. If you've ever had that moment, where a single photo proves everything you tried to ignore, then you already know what I felt. And honestly, I'm glad you're here for this. Because what happened next? It changed everything. The week before Christmas had been rough already. I'm a nurse in Charlotte, North Carolina, so December shifts are chaos. I had thrown Emma's birthday party on my only day off. Nothing fancy, just cupcakes, a backyard piñata, a tiny rented bounce house. The kind of birthday a 7-year-old remembers forever. Emma had put her hair in 2 little braids and kept asking, "Do Nana and Grandpa want chocolate cupcakes or vanilla?" She made 2 plates. 2. She set them on the table herself. My mom and dad never showed. At 4:42 p.m., Mom finally texted, "Things are tight. We're skipping this year. Tell her we love her." No call. No explanation. Just a text. I told Emma they must have gotten busy. I lied so she wouldn't cry. But I saw the way she kept glancing at the driveway. Waiting. Still believing. If you're watching this and you've ever had a family member prioritize someone else's kids over yours, you know how that type of hurt settles deep. And hey, since you're already here, if this hits home even a little, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. That stuff actually keeps me going when I tell these stories. My sister, Caroline, is 2 years younger than me. She lives 20 minutes away from my parents. Has 2 boys. Married a guy my dad adores. 4 years, I played the role of the independent one. The one who didn't need help. The one who didn't cause trouble. The one who was strong. But what they really meant was, Caroline gets everything. You get whatever's left. I didn't want to admit it. I kept telling myself it wasn't favoritism, just bad timing, bad luck, bad communication. But then there were moments I couldn't ignore. Like the Thanksgiving where my mom pulled me into the pantry, pointed at my casserole, and whispered, "Next year, maybe try bringing something more appealing." A private humiliation, quiet and cutting. Or the time I found out they co-signed a car for Caroline but told me, "We don't do loans for our kids. It's not healthy." Little rules. Little digs. 1,000 tiny cuts. I held it all together. I built a life, a career, a home. I raised Emma mostly on my own. But that Christmas post. It was the first time I couldn't swallow it down. Because they didn't just forget me. They forgot my child. And at the end of this section, I'll tell you the truth. The post wasn't the real betrayal. What happened after was. When I saw the post, I didn't comment. I didn't call. I just scrolled. The caption stung. Spoiling our grandbabies. Traditions matter. Family first always. The gifts were huge. A new iPad, drones, bikes, branded clothes. Nothing about things being tight. My sister was tagged. Nana and Grandpa went all out. Thank you. Right there, I knew they hadn't skipped Emma's birthday because they were tight. They skipped because it was my daughter's birthday. Because Emma is mine, not Caroline's. But here's the twist. That night, at 10:13 p.m., Dad called me, voice warm, casual, as if nothing was wrong. "Christmas dinner tomorrow at 5. Don't be late this time." This time. I stared at the phone and realized something. They expected me to show up. Smile. Pretend. Let Emma walk into a room full of gifts for her cousins, while she got nothing. And when Emma asked if we were going, she looked scared to hope. I told her, "We'll see." But I already knew. Tomorrow, I wasn't walking into their house as the forgotten daughter. I was walking in with a plan. Because that Christmas, they were going to see who I really was. I didn't want revenge that hurt people. I wanted clarity. Truth. A clean line drawn. And I knew exactly where to start. See, my parents had been using my name, my credit, to get certain bills lowered for their house. Harmless things at first. A utilities discount tied to my old address. A streaming service I forgot to unlink. A membership that still listed me as the primary account. Things I never bothered to fix. But they added up. And a month ago, without telling me, Mom had added another line on a shared account. My name, her charges. I had proof. Screenshots. Bills. Email confirmations. It wasn't criminal. It wasn't dangerous. But it was wrong. And tomorrow on Christmas Day, with the whole family in one place, I was going to show them. Not to destroy them. Not to embarrass them. But to finally make them understand that Emma and I weren't disposable. I gathered everything. Printed it. Placed it in a neat, calm folder. And then I packed Emma's small Christmas dress. Navy blue with tiny white stars. As I zipped up the bag, I whispered to myself. No more excuses. No more silence. Because here's the truth. When people refuse to hear you, sometimes the only option left is to show them. And I was ready. When Emma and I walked into my parents' house, the air smelled like cinnamon and ham. But under it was something sour. Old resentment, thick enough to taste. The living room was piled with gifts. Big shiny boxes. More balloons. A banner that read, "Christmas with our favorite boys." They didn't even hide it. Caroline rushed over and hugged me too hard. Too bright. "Victoria! You made it. Mom thought you wouldn't. You know how you are." Emma squeezed my hand. She heard that. My mom breezed over next, wiping flour from her apron. "Oh good, you're here. Dinner is in an hour. And sorry again about missing the birthday. We really had no budget left." I looked at the mountain of gifts behind her. Emma did too. And that's when it happened, the moment that sent my blood cold. My mom knelt in front of Emma and said, gently, "Sweetie, Nana owes you a present, okay? We'll make it up to you next year." Next year. Like that was supposed to fix anything. I saw Emma swallow, her eyes shiny but trying to be brave. She whispered, "Okay." But her voice broke. That was my breaking point. And I realized something dangerous. Something powerful. They weren't sorry. They never were. They expected us to accept crumbs and say thank you. Not anymore. End of section cliffhanger. Because what happened next? It's the moment my dad would later scream about. There's a moment in every story where the quiet one finally decides to stop being quiet. For me, it was when I watched my mom hand my nephews their 5th and 6th gifts, while Emma sat on the couch beside me, empty-handed. That's when I shifted my mindset from, maybe they'll see me, to, I'm done. My dad walked into the room with a beer, slapped my shoulder like he always did, and said loudly, "Vic, you didn't bring presents for the boys? That's not like you." Like I existed to serve them. To fill in whatever gap Caroline left. I answered calmly, "I brought something different this year." He didn't notice the tone. But Caroline did. She shot me a look. Tight, nervous. Good. She should have been. While the kids opened gifts, while the adults clapped and filmed, I excused myself and walked to the dining table. I placed the folder, the one with all the account evidence, right in the center. Soft. Quiet. I didn't need theatrics. When my mom saw it, she frowned. What's that? I looked her dead in the eye. The truth. It was the first time I'd ever said something like that to her. Her face paled. Inside that folder was every account they'd linked to me. Every charge. Every screenshot. Every late fee from that line my mom opened in my name. All of it. Not illegal. But unethical. And very, very embarrassing if the family saw. Suddenly, Christmas didn't feel warm anymore. My plan wasn't about revenge for the sake of revenge. It was about accountability. I waited until dessert was being served, until everyone was at the table. Then, calmly, I said, I need to talk to everyone for just a minute. Chairs shifted. Forks paused. My mom stiffened. I've been covering charges that aren't mine. Some of you know about them. Some of you don't. But today I'm ending it. I opened the folder. Caroline gasped. Dad sat up straighter. My mom whispered, "Not now." But it was now. I explained each document. The utility bill. The streaming subscription. The membership. The second line added without my permission. Again. Nothing criminal. Nothing that needed police. Just years of small selfish decisions. Decisions that cost me money I didn't have. Decisions they hid. I ended with, and since you all love to say I'm the strong one, I'm using that strength today. Every account, every single one, will be shut down by tomorrow morning. My mom stared at me like I had slapped her. My dad's jaw clenched. Then I added, calm as ever. And just to be clear, you skipped Emma's birthday because you wanted to. Not because things were tight. So from now on, we're stepping back. No more taking advantage. No more favoritism. We deserve better. You could have heard a pin drop. But here's the thing. The justice moment wasn't the announcement. It was Emma watching me protect her. My dad lost it first. He slammed his fist on the table so hard a fork fell. Victoria! You're trying to ruin Christmas. Over bills? Over feelings. I didn't flinch. Over boundaries. Caroline tried to step in, but my mom shushed her. Dad pointed at the folder. You don't embarrass family like this. You come to us quietly. I said, I did. 4 years. You didn't listen. He stood up, leaning across the table, face red. Take your kid and go. If you want to act like you're better than us, leave. Emma tensed beside me. I held her hand, stood up and said, we were already leaving. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I just walked out. The cold air hit my face like freedom. But here's where the real climax hits. I followed through. That night, after tucking Emma into bed, I logged into every account and removed myself. I changed passwords. Cancelled auto payments. Unlinked my information. By 9 a.m. the next morning, Dad was banging on my door screaming. And when I say screaming, I mean my neighbors peeked through blinds. Victoria! Open this door. You shut off our utilities. I opened the door just enough to speak through it. No. I shut off my name. Your utilities are your problem. His face went pale. Because it finally clicked. I hadn't hurt them. I had simply stopped allowing them to use me. And without me, their whole setup fell apart. They tried everything. Mom left 5 voicemails crying. Caroline sent long texts saying I could have handled this better. Dad accused me of trying to destroy the family. But I didn't budge. For the first time in my life, I didn't explain myself. And the funniest part? Without my accounts, they had to pay their real rates. Their real bills. Their real membership fees. Turns out, things being tight only happened when it involved me. Meanwhile, Emma blossomed. She smiled more. She asked fewer heartbreaking questions. She didn't wait at windows anymore. Our home felt lighter. Like the air finally belonged to us. And here at the midpoint of the story, if you're still watching, thank you. It means you understand the kind of pain that doesn't show up on the surface. If you've ever had to walk away to protect your kid, hit that subscribe if you want more stories like this. Because what came next took even me by surprise. New Year's Eve came. A time I usually spent at my parents' house. This year it was just Emma and me. Pizza. A blanket fort. Sparkling grape juice. At midnight, she curled next to me and said, "Mom, thanks for choosing me." I didn't want to cry. But I did. Because that was the whole point. Everything I'd done. Everything I'd changed. I had chosen her. Finally. A week later, my parents sent a long, uncomfortable email about wanting to talk. But I wasn't ready. Maybe I'd never be ready. Forgiveness doesn't mean access. Healing doesn't mean returning to the place that hurt you. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is step out of a role you were never meant to play. And that's what I did. If you're listening to this, let me leave you with the truth I learned. When people show you your last, stop trying to earn first place. Choose yourself. Choose your child. Choose peace over tradition. Choose boundaries over explanations. And if someone watching this needs to hear it, you're not selfish for wanting equal love. You're not dramatic for noticing favoritism. You're not wrong for walking away. You're just done being used. And that's not revenge. That's freedom. Before I go, if this story touched something in you, tell me in the comments what part hit you the hardest. And if you want more stories like this, you already know what to do. Thanks for listening. Victoria.